Hi there, welcome to the channel or welcome back. My name is Angela. I'm a home gardener growing here in my Zone 6 garden, southwestern Ohio in the US. Today's video is just going to be a little bit of a garden update, and I do have a couple of new plants to share with you guys that I picked up this past week that are gorgeous, and I can't wait to show those off. Other than that, we'll do a quick little tour to share with you how things are going. If you're ready, let's jump in. So standing out here right in front of the house now, and if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you've seen this before, nothing too new. I did get a couple of new potted plants here. Well, they're perennials, but I put them in pots. They're not meant to be potted plants. The shorter one is a Helleborus. It's Ivory Prince. And this taller one is an Iris. It's Iris Paprikash. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. I'll put both of those names below in case you're interested. And I do have a whole bunch of stones laying here. My intention is at some point this year to redo the end of the walkway there. It's kind of crumbling apart because these aren't actual stones. Like once you get to this point, they're just those man-made pavers, and a lot of them are crumbling apart. So I'd like to replace them with these real stones that we just had kind of laying around. So we didn't have to buy any stones. That's always nice. Use what you got. And I'm going to share with you a couple of new plants that I've put in over here on the side of the house. I'm so pleased with how this bed is turning out. It's a little retaining wall area. And I've mostly got purples and yellows planted over here with some pinks. A couple of plants I want to share with you right now, though, are this one right there. It's a Delphinium. I'll try to bring it in a little closer. It's called Summer Blues. That's the variety. I picked that up at Meijer the other day, which if you don't have Meijer in your area, it's kind of, I think of it as like a cross between Target and Walmart, something like that. I did also get another Delphinium, which is there. And this one is called Summer Nights. But look at those blue-purple colors in there. That's so pretty. That's kind of what sold me. And I don't have too many blue flowering plants. And I kind of did that specifically for Hubs because blue's his favorite color, and he always talks about how rare blue flowers are. So I thought he would like those, and he did. He really did. And then the other one that I put in up here is this one. This is a balloon flower. I'm forgetting the botanical name. I think it's kind of one of those hard to say names. I'm going to look it up and put it below. But that one's also kind of a bluey purple, definitely leaning more purple. Those are perennials. Those, I'm pretty sure that neither of those are native. The Delphiniums might be, but I can't remember. I'll put it up on the screen though once I start editing and look it up. I'm not doing 100% native, which I've always, said once I started focusing on this native, going on this native plant kick. So my goal is to do at least 75% native, and what is not native at least can't be invasive. So those are my rules. And this is my penstemon. It's Pocahontas is the variety, and this one's flowering beautifully. It's so pretty, and I guess I was kind of surprised at how big that plant actually got. Even though, I'm sure it told me how big it would get on the plant tag. Sometimes you just get surprised when you see the thing in real life. So I think I'm getting to a point where there won't be much room left in that bed, and I'll call it done. I've started doing some things here, but I really need to get some cardboard laid down and get it mulched in so that the actual plants kind of stand out. So we're not going to look too much at that today. And along this walkway, I've been tucking in some ferns. This one right here, I'll zoom in, is a Godzilla fern. I think we're starting to get some heavier rain. I'm going to stay out here until I can't stand the rain anymore. Let me zoom back out, show you what else I've been working on. So our little dry creek bed here, it's usually dry. It's only has flowing water when we get a heavy rain, which is what that black piping is. It's like a little diversion to divert the water away from the house, and it ends up ultimately flowing down to the pond if it's raining really hard. So I've gotten some things planted along here. I've got another Godzilla fern. Let's walk down in there. Can do it without slipping. So right here, woo, it's raining. Godzilla fern, and then I got 6 Carexes, which I'll bring it in a little closer. These are some kind of blue, and I'm forgetting the full name. I'll put it on the screen. I've got 3 of them lining this side of the creek bed, and then over here I put in 3 more. They're kind of just spaced out. Those will get tall, around 5 feet or so. And then I put my last Godzilla fern in right there. And those should get 4 to 5 feet tall as well. I did put in a couple of more Jacob's ladders in this bed. And yeah, it's slowly starting to look like something. Pretty soon I'll have something really nice to share with you guys. Let's turn around and look at it from this way. And of course I'm still weeding, and it'll get there. It will get there. So I keep telling myself that. I've done some major-ish changes to my veggie garden here. And I'll share that with you. Previously, at the entrance to the garden here was my potting bench. I found that I wasn't using it that much because it was always, all that ivy was growing all over it, and it was getting, we look up high, there's a lot of tree overhang. It was covered in leaves, which then turned to muck, and I wasn't taking good care of it. So I moved it to a place where I will keep it tidy and I'll use it, and it'll be more of a feature in the garden. Still doing some cleanup of kind of like, see that bucket of kind of the junk that was laying all around and on top of the potting bench, and I will not let that happen again. These 2 beds here, the long beds, those are the only ones I'm really doing veggies in this year, and they're doing pretty good. Tomatoes, peppers, onions, and some volunteer potatoes, which I'm kind of letting them do their own thing. And I'll swing around, show you our bed here that has hops. The hops are loving all these rainy days that we've had. I mean, they are just looking beautiful, beautiful. I did have to trim those back heavily because they were growing and spilling out all into the walkways and just hanging everywhere. And the problem with that is that anytime I would walk along either side of this bed, if one of those vines that was protruding like at waist level or head level would touch me, it has a sticky residue on it that not only just clings to your skin, but it also can cause a rash and irritation on the skin. I've had that happen too many times. It's nothing major, at least not for me has it been. Maybe there are people that could be allergic to that, I'm not sure. But it's just annoying, so I gave that a good hard pruning. And let's walk around. Oh yeah, before we look at the potting bench, in these next 2 beds here, I decided to go ahead and take all my wildflower seed packets that I had in my seed stash and just toss them in. So, and they're coming up. So there's going to be hopefully, unless all the critters get to them, a lot of wildflowers and annual flowers, some perennials, like pollinator mixes. That's what I'm searching for there. And my one little tomato plant here that I just kind of stuck in the corner because it was doing really well and I didn't want to toss it. But because it doesn't have a cage around it and not protected, deer did get to it and kind of chomp off the top of it there. So I'm hoping that, and that happened while we were gone on our anniversary trip. So we had our dog with us, and maybe because we didn't have a dog around, the deer kind of felt free to come in. So you can see here where I've moved my potting bench. It still does need to be cleaned off, which I will do. Let me back up this way and give you a better view. And I've got it right here in the middle of this open space where I used to have a bunch of grow bags. You can probably see the grow bags all along the back there. I'm not using them for now, so I just need to get them folded up and tucked away. So it left this big open space when I moved those, and I thought if I put my potting bench right here, it's kind of central to the whole garden, because there's, you know, the shed where I keep a lot of my supplies. And then over to the left, there's our little greenhouse. So it kind of left me with this open spot that I thought might be perfect for the potting bench. And for now, that's where I'm going to keep it. It's pretty easy to move, like with two of us. If I decide this location's not good, I can always move it. Decided to assemble my green stalk right behind it. And of course, because those grow bags were all sitting there, we've got a little bit of bare earth and a muddy mess, but I do have mulch to get that all filled in and make it look nicer and easier to walk on. And while I said I wasn't doing any more vegetables in those other beds, I did go ahead and get some seeds into these grow bags. I'm not moving these right now, keeping them here. And I did all kinds of melons on this back row. And then on the front side of the trellis, I did different basils along in these bags here. And this long bed here, I probably will end up putting my watermelons in there. So I'm doing more than I originally had thought I would do because I couldn't stop. You know how it is. We're gardeners. We might have good intentions to keep it small this year, but if there's space available to plant, I for sure am going to do it. We're still heavy with cicadas. I don't know if you guys can hear them. I kind of hope that's sounding on the microphone so you can hear it, but I hope it's not overpowering. And in here in the greenhouse, I've got sunflowers. Some of them have germinated, some of them not. And then I've got some zinnias and watermelons. Well, I have to say the watermelons are taking their sweet time, but hopefully we'll get there. It has been getting really hot here in the greenhouse. There's no fan or anything, so that's pretty much why I only use this to start seeds, and I don't really grow anything in here in the summer, just because it gets really, really hot. I learned that lesson the hard way when I tried to grow some tomatoes in there a couple years back, and they just didn't really do that well. Not enough airflow, way too hot. So, while things got off to kind of a late start, it is promising. And I think it's going to end up turning into something, you know, pretty good. And let's walk over here to my sunny ridge that I've been working on like all spring and summer to get it planted up with perennials and shrubs, maybe a couple of trees. It does need to be remulched, but I am scrounging cardboard from work and everywhere I can find larger size cardboard pieces, and then I will lay the mulch down on top of it. And I think once that has happened, I'm going to walk through here and give you guys a really good tour and show you all the plants that I've got going in here. There's a lot in here. I've planted a lot in here. Kind of gone crazy with it. And I'm going to take you down and show you the other bed that I started last year and how it's doing. The cicadas are so heavy here and so loud. I got like a sound alert on my watch the other day because it reached 90 decibels. So loud. Can only stay out for a few minutes at a time. But this is the bed that I started to, in order to screen this transformer here. I've got yarrow and then some grasses. These will get full and tall, maybe not this year, but eventually. And this yarrow is Sassy Summer Sangria, and it started blooming. And it's pretty bright red. I thought it was going to be more of an orangey color, but it's actually turning out to be like a true red, pretty much. I bet that's going to be really pretty once they all really pop. I tried to get out here and weed it earlier since the ground is wet and we've had the rain past couple of days. So that's just a little tour. Just wanted to share that with you guys, show you those new plants. And that's probably about all I have to share today. I know I keep showing you guys kind of the same things over and over again, but that's just what I happen to be working on right now, where my head's at as far as the garden. And I know eventually, maybe next year, maybe in the next year or two, it will end up looking really nice once everything starts filling out. Sometimes I get a little worried that I waited too long to start this garden, and gardens take a while to really develop into something, but it's not too late. I mean, I think, you know, unless we're talking about trees, which of course do take years, if you're doing shrubs and perennials, within a few years, it should really flesh out pretty nicely. I'm taking you guys along with me for that whole process. It'll be nice to have this kind of documented, and I can look back and see like how far we've come. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today in the garden. Comment below and let me know about any new plants you've picked up recently. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much again. And until next time, just keep planting.